So let's meet the candidates. We'll start with Meg Webb this morning and then introduce you to the Liberal and indeed the Greens challenger. Meg Webb has held the seat for one term, 6 years. It was a thriller of a race to take the seat last time. As Kevin Bonham points out, not often a legislative council seat's taken from the person who comes third after the first round of votes are counted. Meg Webb, good morning to you.
Good morning, Leon, and good morning, listeners.
Name, please, your single biggest achievement after holding the seat of Nelson for 6 years.
Leon, I did exactly what I told voters I would do when I ran in 2019. I ran on a platform of integrity, acting with integrity, delivering integrity, and that's exactly what I've done in my first term. In some very practical ways, for example, I've delivered on that in Parliament. Because of my motion in the Upper House, we now have a government that releases ministerial diaries on a quarterly basis. Because of my activity and contribution to advocacy on political donation reform, we've got our state's first ever political donation laws coming into effect soon. I've consistently delivered on integrity and acted with integrity in the role. I'm accountable to my community. And I think that that's important to people in this day and age when we talk about our democracy.
The political donation reform that you championed was much tighter than what actually got delivered. In the end, though, was it not? I mean, we ended up with going from the weakest political donation laws in the country to amongst the weakest political donation laws in the country. Wasn't that the net result of that work?
Yeah, and we've improved them even then since, Leon. Here's the thing about change and improvement. It doesn't all happen in a big rush. You don't just wave a magic wand. You work hard, diligently, over time, and you shift the dial on these things. And that's exactly what I've been part of doing in the Upper House. You don't come in and make big sweeping promises that you're going to deliver something as an Upper House member. That wouldn't be appropriate. What you do is you act on your principles, you work hard and diligently, and you shift and change over time, and you move things, like I did with the ministerial diaries, like I did getting a motion up around a gender budget impact statement, which the government then promised to deliver, and we've now had 3 of those with the last 3 state budgets. So it's change over time, Leon, and it's small but important improvements that a government of the day wouldn't have done otherwise, except for somebody like me there pushing for it, raising it, and working hard for it.
Have we had small but important improvements, Meg Webb, to use your term, when it comes to poker machine reform in Tasmania?
I think we've seen a lot of discussion on that area. I think we got a really important discussion when that gaming law came through in 2021. I certainly fought very hard in the Upper House for that, and I was pleased amongst the, I think, dozens of amendments I attempted to improve that bill. I was pleased to at least get a couple of them up that were important ones, in my view, for maintaining the opportunity for future improvement.
Has that issue been settled now?
Absolutely not, Leon.
As far as you're concerned?
Absolutely not.
What would you do if re-elected when it comes to further reduction of the harm done? And so for people that are new to the mornings program, you have spoken about this more than any other individual member of Parliament, and for the mornings program editorially, this has been a massive area of interest for us because of the quantums of money, because of what the statistics say are about the harm, because of the intersection between political donations from those that generate that money and the political classes, and the national conversation. So having said all of that, what if you're re-elected would you do when it comes to the management of poker machines in Tasmania?
Well, I'll certainly continue to advocate really strongly and keep raising the opportunity for us to better regulate poker machines. And we've seen, I think, extraordinarily a courageous position taken by previous Treasurer Michael Ferguson. And as many criticisms as I might have of Mr Ferguson on other areas, this is something he did a good job on, putting forward the Pokies card. Lots of good work has been done on that Pokies card, Leon, by our Liquor and Gaming Commission. We're now apparently waiting for other states to move first. That's a shame, to take a bit of a step backwards, but it's there, it's being developed. It will come into play in this state, Leon. Absolutely will come into play.
Is it fair to say the stadium debate's the issue that's been defining this election in Nelson? Have you been hearing much about that on the doors? Is it the defining issue that people will be voting on?
I think the stadium has been emblematic of things that people are really concerned about in relation to how the government's working in this state and how democracy's working. It's certainly something that is raised with me on the doors. I've been out door knocking since the beginning of the year, and it is the most frequent topic brought up. But typically people bring it up as an example of things that they're concerned about around decision-making by this state government and around the opportunity for things to go horribly wrong. Because, of course, you'd also probably guess things like the ferries come up pretty constantly, people raising their concern that how could such a debacle happen to order and have new ferries built and have nowhere to park them when we get them to Tasmania. So people raise the stadium from all sorts of perspectives, but often it's in relation to underlying fundamental issues of government making good decisions for the community accountably and appropriately, and people being concerned that that's not what's happened in relation to this stadium. People are concerned about the financial impact, well and truly. All sorts of issues are raised around it. But I think often it's emblematic of underlying principles that people are concerned about when it comes to the government of our state at the moment.
Meg Webb, appreciate you coming into the studio this morning. We'll invite you back in about 15 minutes' time to have a discussion about some of the other issues and more widely around the stadium and how you would approach it if returned to Nelson with the other candidates. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thanks very much, Leon.
Meg Webb, 936 ABC Radio Hobart and ABC Northern Tasmania. So Meg Webb, one of the three names you'll see on your ballot paper on the 24th of May. Pre-polling is available. You can head to the Tasmanian Electoral Commission website to find out more. Don't forget, we're through the federal election process. It's the TEC that you'll be looking for, and lots of details there, including for people living with disability who might need some support to get their poll or get their vote counted. ABC Radio Hobart.
On the 24th of May, vote 1, Meg Webb Independent for Nelson.
My name is Meg Webb. I authorise this ad.